Hey, this is Andrew Brown, and we're just picking up where we last left off. So before I was doing REST API, and this time we're going to go ahead and do HTTP API, and we're going to do this programmatically in our repository. So I'm going to make a new folder in here. This one's going to be called HTTP. And so we're going to have a very similar setup. So we're going to go ahead and copy these two files in here so we can use the same thing here. The nice thing is that this Lambda is all set up for Lambda proxy, but that is specific to REST API, so I'm not sure if that's going to work with HTTP, and if we're going to have to tweak it. I just can't remember, but we'll figure it out pretty quickly. So we're not going to want the events on here. What we're going to want instead is we are going to want to have HTTP, this here, HTTP API. And so I'm going to go all the way down to the ground and go to the examples. And so here we have an example of API function. And okay, that's fine. And then we have the one with the HTTP auth. So HTTP, I just want HTTP, simple HTTP. Okay. Serverless function, yeah. Where is it? I thought it said that, are we still on Lambda? Is that my confusion? No, we're on HTTP API. Where the heck is it in the example? It's where it's like simple HTML API. They don't show it here. Oh, I guess it's right here. Ah, so we could have just changed our type over to HTTP API, and that would have done the same thing. Well, that's interesting. Let's give that a go first. We'll do a variation here. We won't just do the one, but I'm going to go back over into this REST one here and just copy these events. And we're going to go back over to here and paste this in. All right. And it says API, so then we can just switch this over to the other one. HTTP API. All right. Now that makes me think, like, does this one let you choose? If you go down here, like, can we choose what it is, or it's always HTTP API? Yeah, I think this one's always HTTP API. But anyway, so we've made that one little change. I'm going to go over to my deploy file here. I just want to change this to, I mean, technically this one is HTTP Lambda, so this one's correct. And we saw that spelling mistake from earlier, Lambda. And that means this other one here should have been called REST, which is fine, whatever. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a build as our first step. And then we'll do our deploy. Okay, we'll go back over to here. We'll give this a nice refresh. And we'll wait to see if this deploys correctly, okay? All right, looks like our Lambda and API Gateway are deployed. So what I'm going to do is make my way over to API Gateway. And we'll see how this UI varies based on the other one, as this one is a lot more simple. This one says REST. Did I deploy the wrong script? HTTP. So if we go into template here. Yeah. So then why did I get this? It's showing me the REST one, so that's not what I want. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I'm not sure what happened there. But I'm just going to make sure. Let's just type ls. And what I'm going to do is, well, I mean, it says it's HTTP API. I'm going to just double check this. My deploy. Yep, okay. So we'll try this one more time. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened, but no, look at that. It's saying REST when I do the build. So there must be something in here that's messed up. I'm going to go up here again. Where was that? Workspace, AWS examples, API Gateway, REST template. Bin build. I'm in HTTP. So I'm going to cd out of this directory. Notice it says the directory doesn't exist. I think it's because I renamed it and it got confused. So this has to do with the previous video, so you don't have to worry about it. You probably didn't even have this problem. It's just probably me. And so now we're going to go ahead and try this again. There we go. Did I delete the old stack? I mean, I don't think it matters because the names aren't going to conflict. Yeah, so we'll wait for that to deploy, okay? All right, so now our deploy is done. I'm going to just double check my resources here. And yeah, now I'm getting HTTP API. So you'll notice that this interface is different, and in some ways it is very similar. So I'm just going to, again, yeah, this is HTTP. Okay, great. So notice we have an invoke URL that we can utilize here. If we go to our routes, it is a bit different. Notice that it's not as complex as the other one where it has like a Lambda proxy. But the question is like, how can we go ahead and test this? Because it is a lot simpler. And so the way we would test this, sorry, my throat's getting a bit dry here. But the way we would test this is we'd have to get that endpoint. So here it is right there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And the routes here is path get. So we should just be able to curl it. Okay. So if I go into HTTP, I'm going to make a new file here, just called readme.md. We should just be able to curl this. First name equals Andrew. Last name equals Brown. And let's see what happens if we do that. Nothing interesting. Let's go ahead and just copy it there. There's like some flags that we're supposed to add, but I'm going to just try it in here. So it says message not found. And actually there's two things in here. We have our last name equals Brown. So message not found. Also, it's at path, I think, so it's not necessarily just that. There we go. We got Andrew Brown. So clearly it's able to take the same Lambda proxy setup to return a JSON response. Very straightforward. There is another way that we could define this, and so let's just go take a look at that really quickly. So I'm just going to comment out this part, and we can go set it up the other way. And so this would be setting up the HTTP this way. Let's take a look and see what we get. So yeah, this is HTTP API. I don't care about having access logs here, so we'll just take that out. I don't care about the default route settings. I believe we don't have to specify that, so I'll take that out. And again, I don't care about that, but it's nice to see that there is, we can set that for that stuff. I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters. And I don't think that matters. And I don't think that matters. So let's go back to here and carefully look here. So the idea is that we have our HTTP API, right? Explicit API creates a public endpoint. And so what it's doing here is it's actually referencing this one, okay? So the idea is that we copy this. And the reason you might want to do this is so you have more fine-tuned control over your actual HTTP API here. So we go ahead and do that. And so that's referencing that. And we have our get path and that. It seems like it might want this. I'm just going to go put that back in there, but I'm pretty sure we don't have to really specify that. And so I'm hoping that this will do basically the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and just tear down our CloudFormation here. And I'm hoping that this will basically do the same thing, but allow us more explicit control over the HTTP API gateway. So I'm going to go ahead and do a build here. Bin build. No issues there. Good. Is that gone? We'll wait for that to delete first. Okay, so we'll give this a refresh here. I thought we deployed this, did we not? Maybe it, oh, we were deleting it. That's right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we will attempt to deploy. Right. And hopefully this works without issues. So I'll be back here if this is a success or failure, of course. All right, so let's take a look here and see if it works exactly the same way. Because if it is, then we're in good shape here. So we'll go into here. We have our APIs. We'll give this a hard refresh as it is confused from this older view. We'll click into here. We'll go up to here. We're going to go ahead and grab our URL. We'll go and just replace this. As I would think that, yep, it has a new URL and it still works. So we're in good shape. But, you know, there's more to talk about for these particular things, but this is just to get started with them. So, you know, hopefully that gives you an idea how to get started with that kind of stuff. We'll go ahead and delete it. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.